We
There it
are
is.
now live. This is Myra with Florida Home Deals and EXP Realty here with special guest David Young from Cardinal Financial. Hey,
Well,
David.
hey, Myra, thanks for having me today. I appreciate it.
Yeah, how are you doing during this pandemic?
Uh, Good, good. Now that all of our live streams working, it's like everybody and their brother's live streaming these days.
I know they get scratchy, they start to buffer, and it's like you got to go to another live stream service. Everybody out there is offering live streaming, and everybody out there is now live streaming. Grandma, grandkids, everybody's staying together, staying in touch, and that's the important thing.
Hey, I love it because we all can work from the comfort of our home for right now. So it's nice.
In my pajamas.
Mine too.
Yeah, right. Yes, I went to the nursing facility last week, broke through the barricades because they have all the roads closed to go into the nursing facilities. You're not
Mhm.
allowed to go visit. But these
Wow.
people need visitors. They need to know that there's life out there.
Yeah.
So I went in, I banged on the window and waved to him, and he was so happy. It sprung him up so good. I got out of there before I got arrested.
They probably think it's the apocalypse. The roads are empty.
Oh, it's crazy out there. I can't wait. It's been like 3 months I've not been able to go visit, and I visit once a week, twice a week on this one.
Hmm.
Bummer. A lot of family members in those facilities, and they can't go see their family members. That's terrible.
That's tough.
Yes. So what type of loans, mortgages does Cardinal Financial offer, David?
Well, that's a great question because we've got like all lenders offer your typical family, Fannie, Freddie, Jenny programs, and the 30-year fixed, the 15-year fixed, the ARMs. Every lender out there offers those. The
Mhm.
cool thing about Cardinal is that we service most of our portfolio, so we're not going to sell it off to another lender or whatever. So we've got all of our in-house programs, and then we do have broker programs. So if we don't do it directly, we can either find a lender that does, or we can broker it to them, like the bank statement loans and the new construction loans, and kind of like the quirky things. Sometimes people who own businesses have quirkiness to their income. And if it doesn't fit the proverbial box that Fannie and Freddie like, we've got some solutions for them too. So it's nice. I don't want to say that we do every loan, right? I mean, I think a lot of lenders fall into a pitfall when they say that. But if we can't find a home, we've got a lot of partnerships with other lenders that can. So
Oh,
our end goal is just to help people get into homes and make it an enjoyable process for them.
wow. So how fast can you pre-qualify a buyer for a home mortgage?
Yeah, so that's a really great question. If they go onto our website, they can literally just click through and get the pre-qualification right there. They could call anybody on our loan officer staff. We've got people answering the phones constantly. It takes 10 minutes to get pre-qualified. I recommend a full approval, which is sending in or uploading your docs, so that way it's just a stronger letter when you make an offer on a home. But 5-10 minutes on a pre-call, easy purchasing, and now you're out making offers on homes.
Wow. Okay, so what are some tips you can give buyers and sellers?
Yeah, so the number one tip I would say at this moment, and this is kind of the post-corona world that we're living in. So I don't know how many people or when they're going to be watching this video, but a couple of tips that I would say is embrace technology, like what we're doing right now, and embracing the videos and such. We've got so many cool just opportunities where you can do a video walkthrough. I know a lot of people they don't want to go into the home yet. So literally they could go to under our website, get pre-qualified for financing, do a couple of video walkthroughs, call you up, make some kind of like offers or negotiate a little bit over the phone, and then like actually take the physical steps into the home. So I've seen more and more people just embracing the technology, and we're extremely technologically driven. We do a screen share with our clients. So if somebody's like, hey, I want to compare the 15 to the 30-year at 1 and 2 points, get that side by side like what we're doing right now,
Yeah.
And let's go through that over video rather than just over the phone. The phone's kind of dated, right? And meeting in person just isn't an opportunity for us right now because just about everything's shut down, right? But the cool thing is you're in the privacy and the comfort of your own home. Embrace that technology. Let's do everything as if we're sitting next to each other, even if we're 1,000 miles apart. You could be on vacation in Tahiti, and we can do everything for you. You could literally buy a house, clicking buttons on a beach. Kind of my dream.
Oh,
But
come on. I'd love to be on vacation right now. I'm sure everybody else would love to be on vacation.
yes, yes.
Everybody's going to be on the roads as soon as this lets loose. Everybody's going to be filling up the hotels and the beaches.
Oh, it'll
It's
be
going to
so
be
nice.
crazy.
I can't wait. I won't be so pale anymore.
I know. How does your team help in the home buying process?
So the cool thing about my team is that we're all fully licensed, and we've got a lot of experience in the business, right? So there's so many people that have just kind of gotten into the mortgage lending world. Same thing with real estate, and they're kind of the part-timers, right? The guy that bags my groceries at Kroger, he's in the business, but he's not really in the business. Everybody that's on our team is fully vetted. They've got a lot of great expertise. So if you're looking for like a Spanish speaker, that's Wendell. If you're looking for somebody who needs like down payment assistance, that's great for Candace, right? If you're looking for somebody who used to be a veteran or they know the VA loans, that's Dave. I mean, there's so many different people on our team that if you're like, hey, I really need help with this, rather than going to the jack of all trades, master of none, we've got like Kent on the team that's been doing mortgages literally in his job full time, 40 to 60 hours a week, this for the last 20 years, right? I mean, that's a lot better than, I mean, don't get me wrong, the guy that bags my groceries at Kroger is a really cool dude, right? But he's like, he doesn't know mortgages because it's not his full-time career. He just picks it up on the side because he'll meet somebody and happen to write a loan. Now he probably messes it up a little bit because it's a complicated process. But my team brings a lot of experience, a lot of expertise to this, because buying a home should be extremely enjoyable, and it is if you have the right team. If you don't have the right team, like an amazing realtor like yourself and a good financing team like us, it's going to be painful, right? And this is the biggest financial transaction of somebody's life, right? You don't want amateurs. You want a great agent like yourself. You don't want the agent that's bagging groceries at the grocery store, because there's a lot of them out there, right? And we don't want part-timers or I don't want to say newbies, because there's a lot of new people in this business that are hungry and full-time and hardworking. But we don't want amateurs. I mean, that's just the biggest thing. When you're making a decision that's costing hundreds of thousands of dollars, right? You're buying a house, it's hundreds of thousands of dollars. You need to work with pros. It just is what it is, right?
Pros that have all the avenues to get your mortgage done right.
Yeah, we've got the talent, we've got the technology, we've got all the programs. It's just designed to make it a great experience for that home buyer, whether it's Corona or crazy or it's normal, right? Or I guess I don't know what the new normal is going to be yet, but yeah. If you're buying the house from your
nowadays. Yes, no more flip phones, guys. It's not going to work. So how does the process work once a home buyer is under contract?
Yeah, so so many people just think about what's a process like before they get under contract. And in the process before you get under contract, just like, I mean, literally you can take, like I said before, 5 minutes on a pre-call and you're done. But the real meat happens after contract. And I don't think a lot of home buyers fully appreciate that, because now you're under the gun, right? Now you've got 30 days or less to close, which means that if you haven't gotten us your pay stubs, your bank statements, or anything, like it's got to happen like yesterday, right? Like it's got to travel fast. But the cool thing of what we have is we have milestones, and we've got a lot of technology to help with that, right? So we've got layers of expertise, right? So in our layers of expertise, we've got Brandy, and we've got Holly, and we've got Candace, and such that all fill a certain role. So like Candace might reach out and say, hey, we need X, Y, and Z. And we have so many different avenues for our clients to make it easy to make these things happen quickly, because we don't want to go slow. We want to once again embrace technology. So our clients can take pictures on their phone and send us the docs via email. They can upload it directly to their file. They can fax it in, but that's kind of 1980s, right? And it'll go directly to their file. It's so easy to say, hey, we need your pay stubs. Okay, screenshot them off of your HR site, or if you can't figure out how to screenshot, just beep, beep. I mean, literally, it's a no-brainer, easy, right? If we embrace and adapt technology. If you're like, hey, I want to drive 3 hours to your office and drop them off physically, it's kind of a whipping, right? But if you follow the process, some lenders, and I don't want to throw like big banks or anything under the bus, right? But you got to like drive to their office. You got to do this. It's kind of a 1980s feel, right? Whereas, in this day and age, we're in the 20s now, right? This is high tech. This is high tech, and it should be much easier. It's like Google. If you need the answer to a question, just like, hey Google or hey Siri, right? And that's the same thing with mortgages now. If we adopt that, then it's a really easy process once you're under contract, and that's where embracing the technology leads to faster, leads to better experience, because now we're clear to close early. You're really kind of operating from a position of strength because you're on top of it, rather than a position of weakness where you chose Bob's Mortgage Hut and they have the 1980s technology, and you're about to miss your closing, and now the seller is going to whack you with an extra earnest money deposit or make you pay fees, or builders are the worst, the per diem, right? I mean, now you're in a position of weakness because you chose your team wrong. You're not working with the professionals, right? And you didn't get it done within that 30-day window, that little tiny 30 days at the most. Some places want to close in like 2 or 3 weeks, right? And now you're trying to negotiate. Your negotiating cards, because you're in breach of contract, are gone, because Bob's 3 hours away. He was on vacation while you're buying a house. You can't upload your docs.
Yeah.
Sorry, like this builder is going to charge you $150 a day, and Bob's not back for 2 weeks. That sucks. Right? So that's why, after the contract is the most important part, and it gets the least amount of attention, because everybody wants to look at the pretty house, right? Nobody wants to think about pay stubs and bank statements after they find the pretty house. I mean, that's not cool or fun, right? Looking at homes is a lot of fun, pulling your pay stub sucks. So
get your ducks in a row.
Yeah. So it's just, and that's why I wanted to talk. That's why I'm glad you brought that up, because post-contract is the most important part. After you've made that offer, that's when we got to scramble and make sure we're protecting our clients.
Time is of the essence. If you miss a time frame, buyers, that seller can cancel your contract and go on with the next buyer. Nowadays, those homes are selling fast. They're getting backup offers. In Southwest Florida, we're on an average 51 days on market for a good home.
Fast, yeah. It's popping.
And it's getting faster. We've been so busy listing and selling during this time.
Mm-hmm.
So it's good.
Strong housing market.
Yes, it'll be really, really good for 2020.
Mm-hmm.
So, David, when all is done, is there still customer service after the closing, or does the loan officer just move on to the next?
Yeah, so that's a question I get a lot, because there are so many mortgage companies out there. As soon as you close on the house, your loan officer disappears, your processor can't do anything. It's just like, bam, you're out on your own. Right. And within the first year, your taxes are getting reassessed. You got to make sure that you're homesteading. There's so many little things that you need to do, especially in your first year, your first couple of years. If they did an escrow shortage, who are you going to call? I mean, there's so many lenders that as soon as you hit that closing table, bam, it's like they're complete strangers. They're your best friend until you hit that closing table, and now they're gone, right? And we're not like that. Cardinal, like I'd mentioned earlier, like we service the majority of the loans that we originate, and even if it's like one of those like weird bank statement loans or something that we don't service, but if you do the loan, if you close that through us, even though it's going with a different company, we still retain you as a client for life. So like I follow up with my customers for 3 to 5 years post closing. Hey, did you make sure that you got your homestead exemption? Is everything good? Did the tax assessors just whack you on your new tax estimate, right? We need to stay alongside of you post closing, right? We're still very, very relevant because if somebody, Bob's Mortgage Hut isn't a real lender, by the way, but I just always make fun of Bob because it's funny, right? But you go to Bob or Sharky's Mortgage Hut, right? And they might sound like they're great, and they got these fast talking people and fancy whatever, right? And then you close, and and the reason why their closing costs were lower than Dave's team is because they shorted your escrow, right? And now all of a sudden, like this is seriously what's happening because we're dealing with a lot of refinances right now. You got a $6,000 or $8,000 escrow deficit. I mean, that's huge. It's huge. I had to cancel a loan yesterday because they have an $8,000 escrow deficit. They don't have enough value in their house yet because they closed a year ago, right? And we just can't do anything. They got to bring $8,000, and Bob put them in, I'm not saying the real lender, right? But he put them into like a 5% interest rate. I'm trying to get them into a 3.125. And I mean, they're literally saving like 2%, and they can't do it because they got an escrow shortage because the person that wrote the deal artificially lowered the closing cost, aka escrow, right, to win the customer over by being lower than the other lenders. He just fudged the numbers, and now the customer is paying for it. So now they can't get a lower interest rate. They have to come with $8,000 to closing to catch up on their taxes and insurance, right? So you gotta find that person that's going to take care of your customers post closing. I mean, it's just so important that you have that relationship for years to come, because if one of my teammates screwed up and they had an $8,000 deficit, we're going to find a way to remedy that, right? We're going to find. I mean, one, we've got checks and balances in tech to say, loan officer, stop, you're screwing this up, right? But if somebody was really they'd have to really manipulate that system to get that through. We don't do that here because we want the clients for life. We want to be. I want you to call my team 5 years from now when you're buying your next house, and we're going to refer you back to Myra because she did such a great job for you to begin with, and we want that relationship for years to come. I've been in this business almost 2 decades, right? I love I stopped producing like 5 years ago, and my past clients still find me, right? Hey, Dave, you're the only one we trust because you took care of us, right? And I mean, I've just been blessed enough to have it. Yeah, and that's true. And then I look up, hey, who did we do business with? Oh, Myra. Oh my gosh, she's just amazing. Myra, hey, we got one of our past clients. We closed like 7 years ago. I'm not originating some, Candace, my top gal is going to handle this for us now. But hey, they're still my client for life. I'm going to follow up from for the next 10 years to make sure that their family's in a good spot. And I don't want to trail off on that, but it's just so important, and it's so overlooked in our business, right? So very overlooked in our business. We're not the, wham, bam, done. We're hey, we want a relationship for life, if that makes sense.
Yes, that's good and strong. Customer service out there is lacking.
Yeah.
We got to build it up a lot more.
Yeah.
Work together as a team. That's the important thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, Dave, do you have anything else to add before we say goodbye to our viewers?
Yeah, there's a lot of fear that's always preached by the media, and I would just like to say, ignore the noise. I mean, the market is strong, and besides, I mean, especially if you're renting, I mean, that's just kind of a waste of money. I mean, it really, really, really is. And if you don't believe me, call me up. I will, you don't even have to use us as a lender. I will do a rent versus own scenario. And if you're not blown away by how much money you'll save, not just in paying less into rent, but gaining equity and appreciation, then I mean, I don't know, you'll be blown away, right? So I would say don't buy into the propaganda that's out there, right? Get a home for your family. If you're looking to upgrade or downgrade or whatever, don't be fearful. Fear is the biggest stealer in lives, even outside of real estate, right? And what we want to do is, if you feel like the time is right for you and your family, ignore the noise. Call Myra. She'll put you in a good spot. You need people that care about you and people that will do the right thing for you, no matter what the propaganda is in the news, right? So we're here for you. We're here for you. That's all I have to say about that.
Yes, and they need to look into the down payment and closing cost assistance if they don't have the money up in. They think they need a lot of money down. That's not a deal anymore.
It's so very true. Like, you don't need a ton of money down. If their credit's a little bumped and bruised, we've got a credit specialist on our team that can help with that. I mean, these things that seem like they're impossible just are very possible if you've got the right team working in your corner. If you've got people that can help you, save up for down payment or get into down payment assistance or repair that credit or, help out with that debt to income, then that's where that long-term experience comes into play, right? And somebody who's done this for 20 years, like Kent, that's on my team. I mean, he's going to know, he's going to know how to do X, Y, and Z. And we might not be able to buy a house tomorrow, but we can buy one in 30 days or 6 months or whatever the case is. So here to help.
Okay, buyers. Now, all the buyers out there, call David Young from Cardinal Financial. Right there's the number. All right, David, thank you so much for your valuable time today.
Thank you, Myra. And you guys are home buying out there, don't forget to call Myra. She is absolutely amazing. Genuine person, as you can tell right here. She's got a little EXP sign in the background. I love it, right? So, yeah, got the EXP mug. Like, if you can't read the ticker, if that's going too fast, just look behind you. Call her, text her. She's been absolutely fantastic for our team to work with. We're so excited to be working with her for years to come. Absolutely amazing. You need somebody like Myra in your corner. Even if you're just kicking the tires on buying a house, call her up. You won't be disappointed. I guarantee it. You can call me and be like, I was disappointed, but you won't be. So thank you so much for having me today, Myra. Absolute pleasure as always. Have a fantastic week.
Okay, you too. Bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye.